Quirk Chungus. This archetype of quirky millennial women has been getting a lot of hate lately, but is it actually justified? Allow me to explain. For those unaware, Quirk Chungus is a phrase that comes from this satire webcomic posted to iFunny on November 20th of 2020, and it depicts your typical millennial webcomic couple. An infantilized adult woman who uses words like doggo and pupper, her cat lovingly labeled child replacement, and her soulless husk of a husband whose personality does not extend beyond the latest and greatest Star Wars movie. And as I'm sure you're wondering yourself, why is this so pointed and hateful? Here's some context. Millennials dominated webcomics in the 2010s and somewhat into the 2020s, particularly in the genre of quirky, relatable couple featuring a self-insert brunette and her boyfriend who buys her pizza and touches her butt. Comics like Pizza Cake and Our Super Adventure exemplify the worst stereotypes about millennials. They're childlike adults who are weirdly puritanical about sex even though they talk about it constantly, and a lot of them suffer from not like other girls syndrome. But before you write them off entirely, let's really think about this, right? If you were a millennial teen girl growing up in the early 2000s, you were told that being thin and sexy and desirable was at once required of you, but also that you were vain and a bimbo for actually trying. And come the 2010s, a lot of millennial women rebelled by making an overt display of how little they care about their appearance, especially compared to the other girls. This also had the effect of throwing every other woman under the bus for the sin of trying to appeal to men. You quite literally couldn't win. But they spotlighted a very unflattering set of behaviors that some millennials do act out in real life. If you've ever seen the TikToker Bianca Scaglione, you know exactly what I mean.
Yellow. So today I have my hubby here and we're gonna talk about how we met. We met in a coffee shop.
He was le customer.
Even though she is obviously playing a character, as soon as this clip left the target audience, the comments were absolutely vicious. So, is the hate deserved? I don't think so. In my honest opinion, the Quirk Chungus hate fandom is actually a combination of three things. One, it is very uncomfortable to watch an adult play act as a 12-year-old.
As a 28-year-old toddler that spills everything.
Two, and I know this is controversial, but I think a lot of this is casual sexism towards these weird, quirky women because they're too quirky to ever pass as feminine, but they're not so quirky that it like wraps all the way around and becomes hot. They're very hard to fetishize, and therefore it's just easier to make fun of them. And three, I think this is an outgrowth of our obsession with cringe and the need to just constantly punish people for the rest of their lives because they put something embarrassing on the internet. What I'm saying is, there is no need to be a heckin' wholesome man-child well into your 30s, but I also don't know if there's actually a need to beat these people up like this. But please let me know what you think.